every week there seems to be something new here. How much does this hurt the president and help the Democrats?
Well, I think some of it is the question of what actually happened, needing to know more around that, not knowing more around that. I think it's difficult to assess who it hurts more. I think, look, from the president's perspective, he could say a day when he's talking about a potential scandal involving Joe Biden is a good day for him. So in some senses, you might think he actually pressed this. He actually wanted this to be part of the dialogue. Instead of talking about other things, we're talking about this Joe Biden story. And people are wondering, well, what happened with Joe Biden in Ukraine anyway? So some of this almost is reverse psychology in effect with the president. It's tough to say if it's actually going to hurt him or hurt Biden more. But the reality is it's another norm-breaking kind of piece of activity from the president.
What about the fact that the Democrats really failed to gain any traction with the impeachment issue?
Yeah.
So could this snowball into something like that?
Well, I think the Democrats need to figure out what their strategy on attack is going to be against the president going into the election year. Is it going to be looking at some of the ways the Trump organization has benefited economically and financially from President Trump being in office? Is it going to be this line of inquiry along, Ukraine and involvement in foreign governments? Or is it going to be something that they dig up from, past lines of attack which haven't been that successful, like the Mueller report? I think Democrats need to figure that out. There hasn't been a coherent and consistent theme Democrats have drawn on, and I think that's hurt their ability to damage the president politically.
Well, of course, there's no guarantee that Joe Biden's even going to be the candidate that ends up facing President Trump in 2020. So could this embolden some of Joe Biden's rivals within the Democrat Party?
It very well could. I think the question there is who would be the one to launch that first attack. And whoever it is does run the danger of being assaulted by his or her Democratic colleagues for essentially advancing the president's rhetoric and advancing the president's angle against the vice president. So there is some risk involved here. But certainly I think Democrats are going to begin to attack each other a little bit more, particularly as the field winnows, the field narrows, and the question becomes who's going to be there once we actually get to the first casting of ballots in Iowa in January.